Welcome to Cars, Shops, and Collections, and welcome to SEMA 2023. And today, we're gonna go talk to Chip Foose. Come on. We are back at SEMA 2023, and we've got Chip Foose with us once again.
JC is in the house.
Chip's gonna interview me.
So what brings you to SEMA?
To see you, my friend.
To see me? Oh, I don't think that's true.
That's why I'm here, buddy. And
Pleasure to see you.
This behind us, masterpieces that you create with a pen.
You know, last year was the first year that I was the official artist of the SEMA show, which means I did the artwork that is used on all the banners and when you walk around the hallways, and sometimes there's big signs on the floor.
It's everywhere. It's on the floor and the ceilings.
It's all over. It's amazing what SEMA does with it. But I created the artwork. There's this wall and another wall on the other side of the booth here. But there's, you know, some of this is last year's artwork. And what I wanted to do was hold on to each of the original pieces, because I did it last year, I did it this year, I'll be doing it again next year. So next year I'll have all the artwork up here, but they'll all be for sale next year. I wanted to hold on to it, but it's all for sale next year.
But it's like at a museum, because you come down here and you're looking at the painting. This goes where, I'm guessing this is like in the off-road section of
Yes,
SEMA?
exactly, yep.
So it's so neat to kind of decipher where the things go.
This is the overlander use. This is lowriders. We've got the collision industry. This is tools and welding, of course, here. And when you weld, there's a term called stacking dimes, and it's all the little beads. So I just did this with a stack of dimes.
Stacking dimes.
And then over here, you've got the new products division. So what I used was, this is called the Christmas tree in drag racing. It's the lights. So I put all the new products underneath the Christmas tree.
Genius. You're an absolute genius.
And then this was mobile electronics. And what I designed was an autonomous truck. So you see the trailer is a complete trailer. The truck is just this part, but there's no driver. And then I put it next to the power plant. And so it's just mobile electronics.
If I could be in your mind for a day, it'd be, I mean, seriously, let's spin around. You have a crowd and you also have some builds back here. Let's make our way through the crowd and talk about some of the...
First truck here is a 67 C10. And a friend of mine needed a motor, so I sold him a motor, and he had this small block. He says, "Do you want the old motor out of this car?" I said, "What is it?" He says, "Just small block." I said, "Yeah, I'll take it." So I took it back to the shop and I ran the numbers. It was a real 67 Z28 Camaro motor, which is a very rare block, probably one of the rarest blocks that GM made. They only built it, I think it was 636.
This is a 67.
This is an original 67 Z28 Camaro motor.
Whoa.
I put it in this truck, and because it's a Z28 in a C10, then I made the badges that are on the front fenders called C28.
Let's see this.
And what I wanted was a truck.
Right here, Lance.
I wanted the truck to appear like it was an original factory-built truck that could have been a sport truck in 1967. So I didn't do what I would typically do and smooth everything out and gap everything perfect. I just kept all the little imperfections that are in the body from the factory.
Yeah.
Because I wanted it to look like a factory build. I'll go ahead and open the motor.
Oh my gosh.
And
okay.
You'll see.
Get ready for this.
It just looks like you're opening a brand new 67 Z28 Camaro motor.
Holy cow.
It's not, I didn't want it to look like an aftermarket vehicle at all. I did build the Camaro bumpers. They're 14 inches wider than a stock Camaro.
This right here are Camaro.
Yeah, so I used 2 Camaro bumpers to get the width that I needed.
Okay.
Both front and back.
So the DNA of the Camaro is in this truck.
Exactly. Even the interior, I used the houndstooth interior. It's an original 67 Z28 Camaro steering wheel.
Absolutely, yeah. And then the steering wheel's from a 67 Camaro?
The Camaro, yeah. And then the colors, this truck was originally white with the Hugger orange interior, so I kept all that. And with the wooden, it's exactly what I wanted. It took me 5 years to find the truck that I wanted, and I found a beautiful truck. It was original paint. I thought about leaving it all patinaed with the original paint, but then I ended up doing a 8-episode series of restoring this truck with 3M and using all their products.
The paint, I love the paint. And the way the lights here inside the convention hall are hitting it.
This is painted with, 3M has their AccuSpray. It's a plastic spray gun.
Okay.
And I used that spray gun to paint this truck.
And then
the only thing that I did when I originally finished it, I had rally wheels on it, which are the wheels that came on the Camaro. I did put Hotchkiss suspension on it, but in the glove box on the C10 truck, when you open the glove box, there's a paper plate in there that has all the information of the build of the truck. Well, everything that I did on this, I took a photo of that, reproduced it, and put a new sticker in there, but it has Z28 package on all the little things that we did. The Z28 bumpers, or the C28 bumper, C28 suspension, but then I built a set of Foose wheels, one-off wheels, and put it on this. And one of my best customers is a gentleman named Wes Rydell.
Okay.
And his father started a General Motors Chevrolet store in 1953.
Okay.
Well, in the 70s, they had the little pot metal emblems that got screwed onto the car.
Yeah,
So I called him and said, do you have any of those pot metal emblems? He had one, I restored it.
It's right there.
Rydell Chevrolet, Grand Forks, North Dakota. Wes has been one of my mentors, and I love the fact that I have one of his badges on my truck.
That is, I mean, your attention to detail on these things, and to think of that and get one and put it on here, that is so neat. This is absolutely incredible, man.
Now here's a fun story. I built this truck for myself. One of my customers really wanted it, so I sold it to him.
Okay.
And I was kicking myself for selling it to him. He then sold it to a friend of his, and I borrowed it from him to use at the show last year. And we brought it in, and I was talking to him, and he says, I'd like to sell the truck. And I said, well, what do you want for it? He gave me a price, and I said, you know, I can't afford that right now.
Wait, you couldn't afford your own build?
No.
How does this work?
It's interesting. Divorce causes you not to be able to afford your car.
That's the lesson learned right here,
But I said, but I can trade you something for it. He says, well, what do you have? I said, let's start this way. What do you want? He says, I've always wanted a 70 Chevelle. So the orange 70 Chevelle here, I built and traded to get this back.
So you built this?
I built this to get this back.
To get this back. But now they're both here too.
This is a 70 Chevelle, and I love the front end on the 70 Chevelle with the dual headlights. But on the 70 Chevelle, the rear bumper has a rectangular taillight. And I like the 71-72 rear bumper. So I put the 71-72 rear bumper with the dual taillights, round taillights, which match the headlights. And then the front bumper is actually from an El Camino, because the front bumper on a Chevelle has a rectangular light in it. I wanted the round light, so I used the bumper from an El Camino and then filled the center where the license plate normally is.
Holy smokes.
And this has a Cadillac, the V series.
Motor inside here?
LSA Motor. Here, I can open this and show you what.
Get ready for this.
Just a simple build.
How many horsepower?
That's about 630.
630 horsepower.
It'll get you to the grocery store quick.
It certainly will. So you build this to get that baby
Get that back.
That is incredible. Chip, man, you're full of so many stories. That's why I love you, man. Thank you so much for your time.
Great to see you.
And great always to see you. And I always just love the amount of people that gather around to see your work. It's got to feel pretty special.
And if you're not here at SEMA, you should be next year.
Absolutely.
If you want your car, shop, or collection featured on the show, then shoot us an email at carsshopsandcollections@gmail.com. That's carsshopsandcollections@gmail.com. And thanks for watching, and be sure and subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes of Cars, Shops, and Collections.